Hi, my name's Kayla and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. I also have a page called Kayla's Crafty Creations, as well as Loaded Envelopes Galore UK, where you can see parts of my work and do swaps with me. But today we're doing something that I thought would be a little bit of fun, and that's making a box that's going to hold a couple of chocolate bars to say thank you to my customers that have shopped with me this month. So it's quite cute. It just butterfly open to a window box that's quite easy to put two little chocolate bars in. But today that one's pink and green, and today's one's going to be all green, so we're going to be Emerald Envy, as well as the Fresh Florals paper. Now we need a piece of card that measures 9 1/4 by 9 1/2 inches, as well as our scoring board. So don't worry about writing these down straight away, because I will be putting them on my blog, and I will try and put them into centimetres as well, because I know some people work in centimetres. I personally don't, so I find it a little bit difficult. So we've got 9 1/2 by 9 1/4. Now on the long side we need to score our card at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1 1/2 inch and 2 inches. Moving along, we also need to score at 7 1/2 inches, 8 inches, 8 1/2 inches and 9 inches. We then turn 90 degrees. Again, we're going to score at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1 1/2 inches and 2 inches. We're then going to move along to 7 1/4 inch, then 7 3/4 inch, 8 1/4 inches, 8 3/4 inch. We are then also going to score up until the second score line, so that's the second score line down. I don't know if you can see, let me just move that this way a little bit. We're going to score at 2 1/2 inches down to that second score line, and then we're going to also come along to 6 3/4 inch and score down to that score line. Going to turn it 180 degrees even, and repeat the same thing. So we're going to go from 2 1/2 inches down to the second score line, and 6 3/4 inch down to the second score line. So we should end up, I know you can't really see it very well on the green, so I have done it up on yellow so you can see it. You end up with this. And what we're going to do, we're going to cut and get rid of all of this bit here, and all of this bit here, as well as here and here. And we're going to cut this bit at an angle. So this is where we've scored down to the second score line, and we're going to cut it at an angle. So I'm going to grab that and grab my scissors. So on the short score, down to the second score line, and then we're going to turn and go across at 90 degrees, and then straight down again. And then these are all going to be cut straight down. The only other thing we're going to do is just slightly taper the corner of the last bit, just to make it easier for when we're putting it together. So this one we're going to cut all the way down going to turn around to get to this bit, cut down to the second score line. I'm going to cut across. Oh, that's it, can't get my scissors in. At 90 degrees. And then back down there again. We're just going to trim the edge of that one off just to make it a bit easier when we come to putting the box together. So we're going to cut down to the second score line, cut at 90 degrees and back down. And just trim that nice and straight, using the smallest scissors I could have found, I think. Straight down, then down to the second score line, going across 90 degrees and down. Snip that bit away and snip that bit away. It just means it all sits like that. Let's get rid of our rubbish and the scoreboard, and we'll get to burnishing our score lines. So, just going to fold and burnish all of the score lines. Just grab my bone folder, which doesn't want to come out of where I put it. There we go. So we're just going to burnish all of our score lines. Burnish there. For some reason I thought I hadn't burnished that score line then, and then burnish that one. So who doesn't like a little bit of chocolate? Now all these measurements will be on my blog, which I'll put a link to below. If you could give me a little like, that would be amazing. If you'd like to follow me or purchase any of the products that I've used, the links will be on the blog. And you never know, if you purchase something, one of these will be winging its way to you at the beginning of February. So now you can see how our box is going to come together. Nice and sturdy. Now, just because I'm feeling a bit lazy, we are going to use fast fuse. One is for speed, and what we're going to do, we're just going to grab the fast fuse, and on the ones that have the full length, just going to put them in first. Now, how I find it easy is I fold it in half, and then I just fold that straight over, just to make that crease mark there, and just get it on. I don't know if you saw that. So we're going to turn it over, apply our fast fuse, and we're going to fold it in half and then flip it over just to make it easy on ourselves. Make sure it's all in line then. There we go. Now, next bit, we're going to flip it over, add our fast fuse as before, then I'm going to flip it over, and on the angle bits I'm just going to put Put a fast fuse on each of those angles. Oh. That's it. Just so that when I brought this forward and I stick it, I'm going to lay that flat, bring that forward, put it there. Now, when I bring that up in a minute, that will stick onto there, but I want to do this side first. So we're going to add our fast fuse like that, and then on that angle there, and on that angle there. So we're going to fold that in half like so, fold it in, glue it down and pop it back. Now, each of these needs to slot inside like so. So that little bit of fast fuse there will help it stay in shape. So we're just going to bring those corners in, rub it down so our fast fuse catches. And there we go. There's that bit. So that is the base of our box. Next, we're going to need two pieces that measure 6 1/4 by 6 1/2. Let's move this out of the way. We're going to need our scoreboard back. So, on the long side, which is the 6 1/2 inches, make sure we've got the right size, 6 1/2 inch side, we need to score at 1/2 inch and 6 inches. I'm going to turn it round and we're going to score at 2 3/4 inch and 3 1/4 inch. I'm going to repeat that. So the long side, which is the 6 1/2 inch side, we'll score at 1/2 inch and 6 inches. Let's spin that round and we're going to score at 2 3/4 inch and 3 1/4 inch. As I say, all these measurements will be on my blog, so if you want to pop over there in a minute and grab it all, that will be a bit easier for you. Pop that down out the way. So now we're going to fold and burnish all of our score lines. Making sure everything stays nice and square. This one. It's a bit difficult to see the score lines on this with the paper being quite busy, but they are there. Burnish along there and burnish along there. So that is our burnishing done. Now, one side is slightly longer than the other, and what we're going to do, we want to keep the long side intact. So what we want is the short side. Let's see if I can find a longer pair of scissors. There we go. We're going to trim that up to the score line there. Then we're going to cut it straight, then we're going to cut from the corner down to the score line there to recreate that angle. So we cut from the top corner down to the bottom corner. We're going to take our little corner piece, and on this side we're going to do a big wedge, and on this side we're just going to trim out the score line. We're going to turn it round and cut up there. Then we're going to cut and get rid of that complete poke along. We're going to give it a big wedge there. And keep that bit straight. But we're going to remove that score line there. Flip it over because I can't do it the other way around. And all the way up to the score line. That's that piece. Then we're going to repeat exactly the same thing on the other one. So we want to take the short side. We're going to get rid of the short rectangle. Oh. Keep the long one. Notch out there and take it from the top corner there to the bottom corner there. Let's just remove that there. And we're going to repeat that on this side. Notch that out there. Notch that. Straight, remove the score line. Just going to remove a bit more of that bit there. And cut from that top corner down to that bottom corner. I'm just removing it completely. Right, so let's get rid of all our bits here. Let's bring our box back in. So what we should now have is, it should fold and make that shape there. So we should be able to fold that edge straight to the back there and get a straight line. So let's just bring my rubber mat back and the fast fuse. I'm going to add fast fuse to the tab. Fast fuse to the tab. Making our angle nice and straight. Nice and straight there. Repeat that on the other piece. Keeping that nice and that corner nice and square. Form to fold the corner. Just need to trim that bit there. It's gone off kilter a little bit there. Don't want that overhanging. Right, so bringing our box back again. One of these sides will fit and one side won't. So, making sure this is the right side. There we go, nice and snug around there. Just bring that over, just making sure that it fits nicely. We'll use a bit of fast fuse. A bit of rub down, and that's one side done. Taking our box again, pushing that round like that, making sure it's in nice and secure, making sure there's no overhang. Make sure your box is nice and square. Let's put some fast fuse on to the flap there on the back. Alright, so that now forms our box with a flat closure. So we've now got our opening box. So we need to decide which side we want over the top. I want this side over the top. So we'll pop that there for 1 second. Now, next we're going to get ourselves a bit of scrap paper and we're going to stamp our sentiment onto the card. Now I'm using the stamp set Amazing You. It's in Celebration, which is this one here, and we're going to be using the You Are Simply Amazing, and I'm using this bit here. So I'm going to be stamping this in Pear Pizzazz. Just going to pop that there, let that dry. And as I say, I don't have a lot of space for storing inks and ink pads, so I've bought the stamping spots, and I buy the re-inkers, and I have each of the stamping spots with each of the colours, and that means I can have all the colours and I don't have to have loads of storage space to keep them all in. So once that's dry, use your embossing talc powder just to clear the area of any oils and stop it from sticking anywhere that you don't want it sticking. So just give that a little scrub over like that. And using our Versamark ink, we're going to start with the Amazing, and I'm going to stamp that right there. Put that to one side. Then the next bit is the Are Simply. And last but not least, the U. So, using a scrap piece of paper, just going to put that underneath there, let's move that out of the way, and getting our embossing powder, and I'm using the silver, very carefully sprinkle it over the top of my design or my printing. Give it a little tap. Take our powder and put it back in the pot for next time. Pop the lid back on, don't want it going everywhere. Now I've got a couple of little bits that I've printed where I've got stuff on that I don't want it on, so just using a little paintbrush, which I keep handy. I'm just going to remove the bits that I don't want. Now, if you've got your volume up high, you may want it turned down a little bit because we're going to use the heat tool. So very carefully allow your heat tool to warm up first. And we're very carefully going to start heating the paper and the embossing powder till it turns. I always find this fascinating watching it go. Alright, so let that cool down for a minute before we cut it out and put it on our project. I've already cut one piece of our backing to form it. Oh, that's it, I'm crunching away now. Now, just going to trim this down so it fits inside my die cutting machine. Now I'm actually using my baby blue because this is only a small die. Let's just line that up on there. A little bit of tape just to hold it in place. For those that don't have a lot of room, these little baby blues are brilliant for keeping on your desk. I've got my big die cutting machine and my brother scan and cut, but they're in my craft room and I like to sit in the living room and craft. So that's that. Now, bringing forward this part, which is the bit I cut a little while ago. I'm going to use my wet glue I'm going to pop that round just like that and then line that up on there. Stick that down, that's it. Well, you have a little bit more wiggle time with wet glue than you do with anything else like fast fuse and the like. Now, bring forward your box. And what I'm going to use today is a couple of dimensionals, just to stick them into place. So it's 1, 2, 3. I'm thinking about putting things on wonky today. There we go, that's better. So it will hold 2 little chocolate bars. Let me just grab a couple. 2 little chocolate bars inside there, as well as another little gift that will be going in there, but not right now, that will be a surprise. But that is my little box for my 2 little bars of chocolate. I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial. You can find all the sizes, measurements and products used on my website and the blog, which I will link below. You can buy all the pieces from my store, which I will also link below. Thank you very much, and I hope you can join me on one or other of my groups, Kayla's Crafty Creations on Facebook or Loaded Envelopes Galore UK. Okay, thanks very much and thank you for watching. Bye bye.